Greetings and salutations. Welcome back. Second Star right here, talking Raid Shadow Legends as per usual. But today it's a little bit different. All I'm doing here in the background is farming some void potions because who isn't these days, right? It's Sunday. That's what you do, especially when you have a torment diffuse. What I really wanted to talk about was a video that was suggested to me via YouTube's algorithm that I found quite interesting. Let's see if I can flip on over to there, if I can figure out how this thing works. Shut off my game counter, and here we go. This is Some Ordinary Gamers YouTube channel, and as you see right there in the middle, you see Ultimate Gallic there with the title, This game is Garbage. And it's all about how Plarium contacted Some Ordinary Gamers and offered them a sponsorship for Raid. Evidently, without looking at his channel at all and realizing what a horrible mistake that was. I mean, it was the takedown that he levels against this game is pretty epic, and I'm not even gonna say he's totally wrong. I mean, of course I don't disagree because I love Raid and I think it's a lot of fun, but he, just by playing like through the tutorial, he diagnoses some issues like right away that are things that we're still dealing with today. You know, a year after its launch. So, you know, I thought that was kind of funny. But I guess the point is that was not a good move from Plarium. I mean, it smacks of like a Friday afternoon at 4:30 move. You know, where they're like, "Oh, hey, Bob in marketing, did you have that list of sponsors we're going to send out?" And he's like, he home alones, right? And he's like, "Oh, no. Quick, sort YouTube by game channels by subscriber count, and let's just do it that way." It was just, it was not pretty. But he's not wrong. I mean, at one point he says that they offer 300 champions, and he's like, yeah, probably more like 15 with a bunch of reskins. And I was like, you know, I can't really argue with that. I mean, I can't say with complete confidence that there's even 15 different, you know, exoskeleton or endoskeleton wireframes for champions in the game. But that's okay, right? You have an asset catalog. You build, you know, your assets from your asset catalog, and I think that's fine. Mixing, matching, all that stuff around, that's what you should be doing, right? But we've seen it here. There's some that are just the same exact champion with a slightly different shade of green or whatever. I like that legendary high elf that came out recently. That it's just another color of a different epic champion. It was ridiculous. I don't know. The whole thing smacks of extreme laziness, and I don't mind if a game cuts corners in its quality, but if it just looks lazy, then that's where I tend to draw the line. Now, that's not to say that Raid isn't a beautiful game, because it is. I mean, it is really nice looking as far as I'm concerned. It's the art that attracted me to the game in the first place. I much prefer this style to like Summoner's Wars, the big heads and the small bodies. I don't like that kind of impressionistic, whatever it is. Not a big fan. I like the more old school, traditional Boris Vallejo, Dungeons and Dragons module art type style, and this delivers for me. But what keeps me is the gameplay. I think the gameplay is great for what it is. Now, he kind of makes the association with cuckolding, right? You're not really playing the game's playing you, or you're just hitting a skill button or what have you, and there's not a lot of involvement. And I don't think that is accurate, right? It's just not a Twitch-style game. It's not input react type of gameplay. And I understand, you know, I loved that type of gameplay too. I mean, I still do, but like in the springtime of my youth when I was playing Unreal Tournament and Counter-Strike, that was what I lived for, right? And I get it. Of course, since I reference Unreal Tournament and Counter-Strike, you realize that the springtime of my youth was a long, long time ago. And, you know, in your mid-20s, your hand-eye coordination just declines. It degrades significantly, and I'm not the player that I used to be. I love first-person shooters a lot, but I just suck at them now, right? And it's really disappointing. Destiny was the last one I really played, and I was a beta Destiny player, but I haven't picked up the game in months. I haven't logged in, nothing, because it's just kind of depressing going into Crucible and just doing badly at something that you used to really enjoy, right? Like, I remember playing this one time. This guy was so good, right? I went and I found him on Twitch, and I watched him play. And he was a teenager. He was like, I don't know, like 18 something. Had one arm, and he was like playing with his neck. I couldn't believe it. He was like doubling my kill to death ratio, and he has one arm, and I thought maybe I should reevaluate my pastime here. So I get it. I get people love first-person shooters, and I love Destiny myself. I thought the gunplay and the movement was the best of the genre, but I'm just, I just can't do it anymore. So this itches a different scratch in my brain. I guess it's think of a sports ball player who's too old to play the game now, say, and he retires and he goes into coaching or management. He doesn't necessarily impact play on the field, but by developing the roster, developing a culture, developing strategy, that's how he has his impact. And I kind of think that this is how this game works. You have a roster, you have a team, you analyze all their skills, you see how they synergize, how they work together, you analyze the opponent and see what they do, and you make a team composition to counteract that, and you send them off onto the field and see if they win. It's your strategy against the game's AI, and I think that's awesome. I love that. There's another game that I played for like 15 years now called Football Manager. Probably not hugely popular in the States because it's a soccer management sim, but it's the same thing. It's a lot of control over minutia of a game. I mean, from the size of the pitch to the style you want to play, to your budget, to your salaries, everyone's wages. You're going to counterattack, are you going to perk the bus, are you going to be all out attacking? How are you going to play against your opponent? Take into account the weather. It's a very deep simulation, right? Where you can take a crappy team in like the lower tiers of the English Premier League, and over the course of several seasons become a global powerhouse if you do things right. And it's a lot of fun, and I kind of think this hits the same spot of the brain for sure. It's a team development, team building experience, right? It's a team building experience. So anyway, that's kind of my take on it. Not his take is not invalid. If you want a first-person shooter, this isn't the game for you. If you want Twitch response, not the game for you. But it's not just sitting back and letting the game play for you. That won't work. I saw that he just kind of played through the tutorial levels, and maybe that was his impression. And that's not an invalid criticism of the genre in general, too, right? I mean, there are games that are less involved in this, and there are some that are more complex. But to his credit, he did play through the tutorial and diagnose a lot of the problems that we've been dealing with for a year in like 10 minutes. So, good on him for doing that. And I do appreciate that he didn't just, take the money. Like he said, he wouldn't be bribed by Plarium. And Plarium really should have known better. They should have looked through his channel, saw that this wasn't for him, and now, they have 350,000 views or whatever of him just totally taking them to school, right? And that was an unnecessary event. But I do appreciate, his forthrightness and his honesty about how he felt about it, right? Some Ordinary Gamers is a class channel. A lot of good stuff on there. I'll link the video if you want to watch it later. He does have a lot of valid concerns that apply to Raid, and then I have an alternate viewpoint, of course, because I enjoy the game. It's my favorite out there right now. So I hope that this was just a little counterpoint, where if you only saw the Some Ordinary Gamers video, his evaluation of Raid, here's another take on it. So if you said, oh, I'm not even going to try that game because this epic rant, there's another way to look at it. It's just a different type of game than what he wanted, and so he let it out. But the honesty and forthrightness for not taking the money, not taking the bribe, as he said, is very commendable, very respectable, and he's earned those 1.5 million subscribers or what have you for being that consistent throughout his channel. So good on him. Thank you guys. Please comment below if you have anything to add, if you have any concerns, have any questions, whatever. I'll be here. I'm getting over a cold, so I'm sorry if I sound a little bit stuffy, and happy holidays to everyone. All right, like, subscribe if you feel the urge to do so, and I will see you all next time. All right, take care. Bye.